welcome back. Today we're working on this 24x24. It was a commission where after they saw my little gladiolus paintings, they really wanted a gladiolus in reds and pinks on a 24x24. So that is what we are doing today. So let's get started. Let me find my torch because I do have a lot of air bubbles, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the base coat laid down. I got my hairdryer. As you guys remember, my hairdryer does not have enough power, so I had to create a little, I forget what these things are called, those things that caps that you put on your hairdryers to create the pressure. But I have my coffee cup, so we will be using that. And then the colors today, we're going to be using a little bit of this Premier Purple Red, the COLORSHIFT Red Flash. Is that better? I don't know what is going on with the lighting today. I can't win. Anyway, so the COLORSHIFT Red Flash. The SOHO Cad Red Medium is going to be one of the main ones. Then I have a little bit of this pink that I mixed up a while ago that I'm finally going to use. The SHERWIN Lotus Flower. Deco Art Metallics Rose Gold, after I drop something into the paint. The COLORSHIFT Pink Flash. And then for the green part down at the bottom, it's going to be the Deco Art Festive Green and the COLORSHIFT Green Flag. So we're going to start off with the SOHO Cad Red. Now keep in mind, this is not going to be a Dutch pour. I am not blowing the paint back over and blowing it out. I'm simply just using the hairdryer to blow the image out, so when it dries, I want the cells. When it dries, I'm replicating this guy right here with all the cells, everything. Then I can come back in, outline it, and add the details. Alright, so this is where we have it. This is where I wanted to make sure I got it. I just added a little bit more green afterwards, but I think the time cut out on me when I was trying to record for you guys. But I was coming in and adding a little bit more red at a time and just kind of blowing it out and creating layers. So this deeper red is going to be the bottom of some of the petals and everything. So when this is dry and I come back in to mark everything off, I'll have area guidelines pretty much. I can just follow these little lines right here, up and around, and create the layers of petals that you see in gladiolus. And then I'll come in this area that's a little plain, and this is where we're going to be adding the stem, what are those? We're going to be adding the little guys that come in about there. So we have areas that we can easily layer. Just touch up the white real quick, and then we're going to work on this green area using the air compressor. Alright, I'm just going to come in with some titanium white along the top here, and we're just going to define some of these areas a little bit more. I'm loving this side, so I just wanted to kind of even out the other side a little bit. I don't know, there's a big old glare on that side. There we go. I know there's glares all over. It's all my little lights. Sorry guys. But for now, that's all we have. Then when this is dry, and then doing its weird tilting and everything else, then I can come in and embellish it with you guys. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so it's been a couple days. Finally could clear everything up. I was able to film that chameleon, this little guy, in the meantime. And now that this one is completely dry, we can come in and start adding our details. Coming back to this one, we have to add all that detail. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw this into a time-lapse, and you guys can watch me do it. So explain a few things right off the bat, and to show some of you kind of what I do, my process. I'll start especially with right here, since you have the two different colors. This will be the area that I would come in first. And I'm just going to define that separation line between them, and then we'll come back later and add all the detail and everything else. Alright, so now that I have that kind of defined out, the next part that I like to start on is kind of coming in and looking for any initial petal shapes in this area. So I like where this is right there, and this one coming up right here. So we're just going to follow this line. And then since this isn't very defined, we're just going to have to come in and define it ourselves. So let me get this all set up for a time lapse, and I will see you guys at the end. And so here we have it. So I decided to come back in with some of that color shift, because after I added the shadowing and the shading and everything, I was like, it needs something else, especially since once this is dry, I am going to be varnishing it with a matte varnish. But I came back in with some color shift red and a little bit of the color shift pink, and I added some of the CAD red medium inside a little cup and just kind of brushed it over as a glaze to highlight. Now, I don't know how this is going to sit, how they're going to want it, but I kind of like it that way, coming up and over, or this way, kind of laying. But yeah, here we go. I know some of you wanted to know what I did when I did this one, and that's pretty much it. I added a little bit more detail to this one because it was a larger painting, and I like it. I like the way it turned out. I maybe could have done a few less. I was looking at that, maybe like a few larger petals,
but I just went with the way the paint pourer wanted me to. So yeah, but there we have it. I hope my client likes it. I hope they find it around where they wanted. They didn't want any yellow in it and they didn't want any gold in it, so that was one of the things that this one had, was that yellow kind of lacing through the petals, that gold. So there was no yellow to lace through. That's why I wanted to come in and just add that color shift, just to add a little bit more dimension to them, keeping it still pink and red as requested. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys like this, thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out all my sites right along here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!